"Excuse me, stewardess. I believe this man is lost." "Coach is that way." The voice sliced through the cabin like a dull knife on glass. It belonged to a woman in leopard print leggings and an attitude that seemed several sizes too large for the narrow aisle. Her name, I later found out, was Linda Templeton, but everyone on the flight would remember her by another name, Karen. She jabbed a manicured nail toward me in seat 1A. The flight attendant glanced at my ticket, nodded with a smile stretched too tight, and moved on. Linda wasn't done. "People like you don't belong in first class," she said, voice too loud and too sure. I turned my head slowly, gave her the most polite smile I could muster, and replied, "I agree, but I'm not here for the snacks." Beneath the black hoodie draped over my chest sat a Glock 19 and a federal badge. Today, I wasn't just flying to Dallas. I was the air marshal on board, and Linda had picked the wrong man on the wrong day. I boarded early, standard protocol. Blend in, observe, don't attract attention. The airline had upgraded me to first class without knowing why. They just saw a last-minute government-issued ID and assumed I was on official business. They weren't wrong. My attention was focused on two flag passengers. One, a middle-aged man in seat 12B traveling solo with a stolen passport. The other, a woman in 14A, traveling under an alias. Both showed subtle signs of evasive behavior. But before I could dig into their body language, Linda stormed the cabin like she owned it. Her entrance was impossible to ignore. Fur-lined vest, sunglasses the size of cereal bowls, dragging a suitcase that clearly violated overhead limits. She barked at the attendant, "Make room. I don't check bags." She crinkled her nose at me as if I were the odor in seat 1A. Her muttering began soon after. "Must have used points. They'll let anyone up here these days." I heard every word, not because I was eavesdropping, but because Linda didn't know how to whisper. I ignored it. That's the job. You don't engage. You observe. The flight attendant offered champagne after takeoff. I declined. Linda didn't. "Two, please," she chirped. "We're celebrating." "Celebrating what, ma'am?" "A whole row without riffraff," she winked at me. I stared out the window. 15 minutes in, a ping hit my secure app, a secondary target flagged. The woman in 14A. Alias ID. Suspected courier. No contact with 12B, which meant either they weren't connected or they were very good. Linda, meanwhile, had more pressing issues. The chicken was too spicy. The seat warmer malfunctioned. The pillows were foreign. She summoned the flight attendant 5 times in 20 minutes. Finally, the attendant asked her to lower her voice. "You'd never speak to him like that," she snapped, gesturing at me. "I've flown this airline for 12 years. I know the CEO personally." Noted, customer filter needs upgrading. I walked the cabin, not to stretch, but because both flag passengers had shifted posture at the same time. Subtle but synchronized. Linda stuck her leg out as I passed. I bumped it. "Watch where you're going," she hissed. "You people are always clumsy." The woman across the aisle looked up. Linda flushed red. I kept walking. Nothing odd in coach. A kid played a game. A man snored. Normal. But 14A's bag had a customs tag that didn't match her declared travel history. Bingo. Back in my seat, Linda leaned over. "So what do you do? Janitor, maybe?" I blinked slowly. "Something like that." She laughed. "Figures. You dress like one." The captain's voice cut in. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting turbulence." Linda clutched the armrests. "I get anxiety. I need another drink." Flight attendant declined. "FAA rules." Linda stood. "You can't refuse me. I have medical needs." She flashed a glittery pill case. "Vodka activates these." The turbulence hadn't even started. While eyes turned her meltdown, Twelby slipped something from his sock into his shirt pocket. Small. Could be a capsule. Could be a detonator. Status ping. Code yellow. Linda stormed the lavatory. When it was occupied, she pounded on the door. "Some of us have needs." A baby cried in the rear. Linda rolled her eyes. "Babies in coach should be banned." She returned to her seat and hissed at me. "You're making everyone uncomfortable. People like you always do." I looked her in the eye. "You're right. I am making people uncomfortable. But not for the reasons you think. Because if things went south in the next 30 minutes, Linda wasn't going to be the biggest problem on this plane. She was just the loudest. She demanded more champagne. The flight attendant smiled, that weary smile of professionals. Linda muttered, "I'll call the CEO if you don't." Meanwhile, my real focus was on rows 12 and 14. The man had now loosened his belt. The woman faked sleep, but her breathing was too rhythmic. Rehearsed. The turbulence hit. Linda gasped and grabbed the arm of the poor soul next to her. "Don't worry," she said. "I'm an important flyer." He nodded without looking. Linda snapped at the attendant. "Why didn't the pilot warn us again?" I stood and walked toward the galley, passing 12B. There was now a rigid bulge beneath his shirt. Not a phone, not a wallet. I whispered to the head attendant, "Keep an eye on 12B and 14A. Alert me if they move." As I returned to my seat, Linda flagged me. "This seat doesn't recline. Maybe you broke it." "It works fine," I replied. "Do you work maintenance or what?" Before I could answer, 1B leaned over. "Ma'am, please. I'm trying to read." She snapped, "Oh, sorry, Your Majesty." She flopped in her seat. Her tray popped open. Salad in her lap. She stabbed lettuce like it had wronged her family. Meanwhile, 14A opened her overhead bin. Not normal during turbulence. Her hand was inside her travel pillow. Odd. If this was what I thought it was, we weren't just dealing with petty complaints anymore. We were midair in a live smuggling op. Linda let out a theatrical sigh. "I don't feel safe with him here," she said, pointing at me. "He's pacing and listening. He's casing us." "Passengers don't act like that," she said. "He's sweating. Maybe he's hiding something." The irony nearly made me laugh. Ping. 12B. Prior trafficking suspicion. Belgium. Multiple aliases. 14A. Clean record, but red flags for short. Solo stays in multiple cities. Linda stood. "I demand to speak to the pilot." Flight attendant tried to block her. Linda pushed past, tipping a cart. Cup spilled. A baby cried. "Do something," she screamed at me. That was it. "Ma'am," I said. "Sit down." "Now." Linda laughed. "Oh, you're giving orders now? Who do you think you are?" I pulled my coat aside just enough. "Badge. Gun." Her mouth dropped open. The flight attendant gently guided her back. Linda walked like a ghost. I stood by the galley, hand inches from my sidearm. I hoped I wouldn't need it. The cabin dimmed. We crossed into higher airspace. 12B adjusted something under his shirt. Shifted position. Repositioning a body pack. 14A's backpack was no longer overhead. It was under her knees. That bag meant something. I passed Karen. "Sorry, Linda," again. She muttered about cosplay pilots. Then came the jolt. The turbulence wasn't gentle. It hit like a punch. 12B leaned forward. When he sat up, the bulge had shifted under his jacket. Code yellow. Escalated to orange. 14A opened her tray. Her bag was slightly unzipped. Inside, a slim metal case. She gave 12B a tiny nod. I caught it. Linda staggered up again. This time, holding her throat like she was choking. She vanished into the lavatory. 5 minutes. 10. Still no Linda. The flight crew knocked. No response. She locked it from inside. They whispered. I used the universal key. Inside, Linda was seated, vodka mini in hand. Eyes wide. "You can't stop me. I have rights." I gently removed the bottle, helped her up. She screamed. "This man is detaining me. Somebody help." Distraction complete. 14A had slipped the metal case into the seat pouch, pretending to read. 12B watched like it was a show. I approached 14A. "Ma'am, I need to speak with you." She froze. "Is there a problem?" I lifted the case with a gloved hand. 12B stood. Not a smart move. "Sit down," I said. "Air Marshal." He froze. 14A protested. "That's not mine." I raised the case. "We'll find out." Karen, Linda, mumbled something about needing therapy. I radioed the ground team. Confirmed. Code orange. Items secured. Prepare for intercept. The case sat beneath my feet. The suspects were still. But something bugged me. 14A looked calm. Too calm. It hit me. The case was a decoy. I swept the rows again. Then I saw it. A rolled scarf between seats 13A and 13B, tucked under the vest compartment. I retrieved it. Inside, a military-grade thumb drive. Double-layered encryption. Linda noticed. See, he's grabbing random things. He's a menace. The captain announced final descent. I locked both lavatories. No movement until landing. As I passed Linda, she stood. You think you're better than everyone. You're just a thug with a badge. I stepped close. Ma'am, sit down, or you'll add obstruction of justice to your record. She sat. Finally, the descent was quiet. The wheels touched down. Applause broke out. I stood. Nobody exits until instructed. Federal operation underway. Gasps. Linda tried to stand again. I know people. Important people. She turned to her seatmate. Tell them who I am. He stared straight ahead. Officers boarded. I pointed to 12B and 14A. Both detained without incident. Linda stepped forward. Thank God. That man's been terrorizing us. I want to press charges. An officer moved her aside. She blinked. Wait, you're not here for me. Ma'am, he's federal. He called us. Her mouth opened and closed. Speechless. Inodi de here. Have a pleasant day, ma'am. She whispered. I thought you were just a nobody. That's the thing about people like her. They only recognize authority when it matches their expectation. But by then, it's too late. Outside the gate, media vans gathered. A blurry video had already gone viral. Title: Entitled Karen Screams at Air Marshal. Instantly regrets it. The comments section was ruthless and accurate. I didn't need the fame. I just wanted the mission to be done right. My supervisor met me near baggage claim. Thumb drives likely linked to the Frankfurt lab leak, she said. Nice work. I nodded. Back in the terminal, I saw Linda again, arguing with a rep. He doesn't look like a federal agent, she shouted. The rep replied. Multiple agencies confirmed his identity. There's nothing more to discuss. Linda sat back. Not arrested. Not fined. Just irrelevant. That was her punishment. And, for me, just another Tuesday. Next week, I'd be on another flight. Same hoodie. Same seat. Same mission. Always watching.